When your cat is sitting right next to you purring, letting you pet them, and then suddenly turns and bites you, do you actually know what they're trying to tell you? Yes, it hurts. And yes, it feels like a betrayal, but behind that sudden bite, there's something most owners completely miss. Something that has nothing to do with aggression, and everything to do with how deeply your cat feels things. And if you misunderstand what it means, which most owners do, you could be ignoring one of the most important signals your cat has been trying to send you, over and over again. Let's start with the one that surprises everyone. 1. That bite wasn't aggression, it was communication breaking down. Have you ever been sitting on the couch, petting your cat, having what feels like a perfect moment? They're purring, they're leaning into your hand, everything seems fine, and then, without any warning at all, they turn and bite your hand. Not a playful nip, a real bite. And you pull back, confused, maybe a little hurt, wondering what you did wrong. Most people think their cat just snapped, that something switched inside them, that they're unpredictable or mean, or that the love just evaporated in a second. But that's not what happened at all. What you actually witnessed is called overstimulation. And here's what most people don't realize. Your cat was giving you signals the entire time. Tiny, quiet signals. A flick of the tail, ears rotating back, skin twitching along the spine, a slight stiffening in the shoulders. Their nervous system was building up like a pressure valve, sending message after message, and when none of those messages landed, the bite was the last resort. Not the first choice, the last one. Cats don't have the same capacity to simply move away from an uncomfortable situation the way humans do. Their nervous system process sensory input differently from dogs or humans. Repetitive touch, especially along the back and tail base, can trigger a rapid shift from pleasure to overwhelm, not because they stopped trusting you, but because their sensory threshold was crossed. In the wild, prolonged physical contact outside of grooming or mating is rare. Their bodies aren't built for extended petting sessions the way we imagine. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that cats show measurable physiological signs of stress, elevated cortisol, increased heart rate, muscle tension, well before they display visible behavioral signals, meaning your cat's body was stressed long before you saw any outward sign of it. So that bite wasn't a betrayal. It was your cat reaching the end of a very long, very quiet conversation you didn't know was happening. They weren't lashing out. They were finally being heard. And if that already changes how you see your cat, wait until we get to the last point in this video, because what we'll cover at the end is the most vulnerable thing a cat can do in the presence of another living being. It might be the most meaningful thing in this whole video. 2. The love bite is its own language, and it has rules. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the bite is different? Softer, almost gentle. Your cat will be grooming your hand or your arm, and then close their teeth around your skin. Not hard enough to break it, barely hard enough to feel, and just hold there for a second. Most owners laugh it off as a quirk or assume their cat just got a little too excited. A cute accident, but that's not random. That's a decision. What your cat is doing is called allogrooming, mutual grooming behavior that cats use almost exclusively with cats they have formed deep social bonds with. When cats in a colony groom each other, they will occasionally deliver a gentle bite, especially around the neck and head, as part of that grooming ritual. It's how they say, "You belong to my group. You are mine and I am yours." When your cat does this to you, they are not acting on instinct left over from a prey drive. They are extending the most intimate social behavior they have, the behavior reserved for their closest companions, and including you in it. Think about what that actually means. Your cat has decided you are part of their social circle, not a human they live with, a companion they care for. A 2020 study from the University of Lincoln found that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their owners that closely mirror the secure attachment patterns seen in human infants bonded to caregivers. The gentle bite is one of the physical expressions of that bond. They're not nipping you because they don't know better. They're nipping you because to them, you're family. 3. Fear bites and trust bites look almost identical, and confusing them changes everything. Have you ever noticed your cat biting you in a situation where nothing seemed to go wrong? No long petting session, no overstimulation, just a moment that felt ordinary, and then teeth? Here's something that might surprise you. Not all unexpected bites come from the same place. Some bites come from a cat who feels safe enough with you to set a boundary. Others come from a cat who is terrified and has no other option. And here's what most people don't realize. The way those two bites look from the outside can be almost identical, but the body language surrounding them is completely different. A fear bite will come with a cat whose pupils are fully dilated, whose body is low and tight, whose ears are flat and rotated back hard, and whose tail is tucked or lashing. Every muscle is preparing for a threat. The bite is not about you, it's about survival. You just happen to be in the space where the fear lived. A boundary bite from a cat who trusts you will come with much softer body language before the moment. The bite is quicker, less intense, and often followed by your cat immediately going still rather than fleeing or escalating. They used the tool they had. They made their point. They're not afraid of what comes next because they trust you won't punish them for it. In the wild, a cat would never hold still after biting a threat. They would run. The fact that your cat bites and then stays in the room with you, even stays close to you, is not bad behavior. That's trust. That's them saying, I know you're safe, I just needed you to stop. 4. When your cat bites during play, they're teaching you something about how they see the world. Ever caught your cat in a full predatory sequence, stalking your hand, pouncing, biting, kicking, and wondered for a second if this is actually play or something more? Most owners try to stop this behavior immediately, assuming the cat is being aggressive or that it will escalate. The instinct is to pull away, to say no, to redirect. But what if you're interrupting something deeply important to how your cat processes the world? Play biting in cats isn't a diluted version of hunting. It is hunting, neurologically, hormonally, completely. When a cat plays, the same neural pathways activated during real prey capture are firing. The same adrenaline, the same focus, the same satisfaction at the end. Play is how cats metabolize stress, practice skills they may never need but are hardwired to maintain, and, crucially, how they bond with the beings they feel safe enough to play with. A 2021 study published in Scientific Reports found that cats who engage in regular interactive play with their owners show significantly lower cortisol levels and higher rates of affiliative behavior, rubbing, following, proximity seeking, with those same owners in the hours following play. The bite during play isn't your cat losing control. It's your cat inviting you into the most honest, unguarded version of themselves. Think about what that actually means. The wildest, most instinct-driven version of your cat. They want to share it with you, not hide it, share it. 5. The redirect bite and what it tells you about how much your cat is holding in. Have you ever seen your cat staring out the window, completely locked onto something outside? A bird? A squirrel? Another cat, body vibrating with intensity, making that chattering sound, and then suddenly they turn and bite your leg. You weren't even part of the situation. You were just there. This is called redirected aggression, and it is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in the entire cat behavioral spectrum. Most owners take it personally, deeply personally. They feel like their cat turned on them, that they're unsafe, that the relationship has shifted. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat was in a state of extreme arousal, flooded with adrenaline, every predatory instinct at maximum activation, and they had no outlet. The source of that arousal, the bird, the other cat, was unreachable, untouchable. The energy had nowhere to go. And then you moved, and the nervous system running on instinct transferred the target. They're not broken. They're not dangerous. They're overwhelmed. A 2022 study from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery identified redirected aggression as one of the leading causes of relationship breakdown between cats and owners, primarily because owners misinterpret the episode as evidence of an aggressive personality rather than a momentary neurological flood state. They weren't attacking you. They were drowning in something they couldn't control, and you were the closest solid thing they could reach. 6. The softest bite your cat will ever give you is also the most important thing they'll ever say. Remember at the beginning of this video when I told you to wait for the last point? When I said it was the most vulnerable thing in this whole video? This is it. There is a specific bite that has nothing to do with overstimulation, nothing to do with play, nothing to do with fear or redirect. It happens when you're lying still, sleeping or resting or barely awake, and your cat comes to you, settles beside you, and very gently, almost imperceptibly, closes their teeth around the tip of your finger or the edge of your hand. So softly you almost wonder if you imagined it, and then they stay right there, still. Sometimes they begin to purr, sometimes they just breathe. This is grooming behavior that has been stripped down to its most essential, most intimate form. Your cat is not trying to wake you. They are not trying to tell you anything urgent. They are doing the one thing that in the entire behavioral vocabulary of a cat communicates a single, irreducible truth. You are safe to me, and I am safe with you. In the wild, a cat would never approach a sleeping animal and make contact with their mouth. Never. That level of vulnerability, body still, senses lowered, guard completely down, is how prey animals die. Every instinct a cat carries from 50 million years of evolution says, when something is still and unaware, you do not get close unless you are prepared for what comes next. And yet your cat does it anyway. An animal that is hardwired to stay alert, to stay independent, to trust almost nothing, is choosing to press their teeth gently, so gently, against your sleeping hand, because you're worth overriding every instinct they have, because to them you're not just safe, you are home. Think about what that actually means, not as a cute cat behavior, as a choice made by a creature with every reason in the world to protect themselves, choosing again and again not to, because of you. Every time your cat flicked their tail before the bite, chattered at the window, pressed against you in the dark, held your hand in their teeth so gently you almost missed it, they were speaking the same language, the same message in every form they had. And when your cat finds you while you're still and puts their mouth against your skin with nothing but softness, that's not just a habit. That's every wall they ever had coming down. That's not a bite. That's trust with teeth.